So there was a video on Facebook I was watching, and it was regarding this guy that two incidents happened before he got locked up. He actually hit a male woman in the back or something with a brick or a rock, pushed her down to the ground, started beating on her, slamming her head on the pavement. Then turned around, he jumps on the bike, rides off, finds, I believe, a school teacher and stabs her to death. And he goes and get locked up. I think it was like within the next day or so, or same day. I didn't know the gist of it. But, when they start running down his criminal record, every one of his issues or, things that he had going on, there was always some type of physical violence or yelling and causing disturbance. At the Georgia State campus, he was yelling and threatening, so they scared the crap out of those people to the point where, he was actually banned from, the campus. Can't be nowhere around that area. And that's pretty much 5 points all in that area. And then another incident he had before that, he fought somebody. And each time, the first time it was, I think, 15 days. But they noticed he had a mental problem then. Then he goes back and supposed to be in a year in jail or something, but I think, or 6 months, and they say it was 2 and 1 or something, so he do 2 days for 1 day. All is still saying that the mental health was not suffice. Like, the guy had mental issues. They put on the record that he needed to seek counseling. So, first and foremost, let's go with the parents. The parents alive, this kind of falls on them to, deal with their child. And if you can't deal with your child, then it falls on the state. So now that you can't deal with your child, the state has to, take care of your child. There's some things in play where he needs supervision. He might need, a caretaker to take him places so he won't act out. He needs to get on some type of medicine, and someone knows he's taking his medicine. Because some people actually just need to be on medicine, and it can stabilize their mental issues. And then there's some people that, might need 24-hour care because medicine is just not working, but we never know until we do this. I'm a big component of mental health because I seen the things that go along in people's family. I had someone in my family that suffered mental health, and it was devastating to me. One of my favorite cousins had to deal with this, and it's kind of heartbroken when I see people go at people with mental health. When I see someone do a mass shooting, even like the young guy down in Appalachian, in Winder. I think it's Appalachian High School down in Winder. So this guy, there was nothing mentally wrong with him. This guy just wanted to shoot up a school. This guy just wanted to get some get back because people were teasing him or something. It wasn't a mental health thing, and I felt bad for his dad. That was the biggest thing with me. I felt bad for his dad. Like I told my wife, I don't feel bad when a person goes and does a crime and they're in mentally sane mind. I don't feel bad. But it's different when a person does a crime and they mentally not there. Unstable, thoughts are not together. I don't see that. I just can't accept that. If this person was in their right mind, they might have did something a little different. I just can't accept it. But the people that are like that young man down at the high school, 14, 15, I think he was like 15 years old, that shot those people, that guy needs to go to jail. The guy down in Florida, the 3 guys that killed that rapper, they end up pleading with the court not to get the death penalty or something like that, and to go to jail for life so their family able to see them. I'm like, nah, you weren't thinking about that when you took that guy's life and that rapper's life. And most of these guys think they're going to get away with this. So my thing, it's a difference from a person that's having a mental breakdown of issues than a person just wanting to be a criminal. It's two different sides to that. And a lot of people want to put them two together. I don't look at it as such. And I don't like when people try to do that, because you got some mothers that break down, not having breaks 24/7 with their kids, and mentally it gets unstable for them to the point where it comes to a point where they might do something to the kids, not from a point of, yeah, I'm doing it because I just want to take them out. It's mentally they black out, and like I said, there's some instances where a lot of times these parents just need help. That man, he's a grown man now, but his parents might need help with him. That's when you go get help from the state. They got programs. But even with that, I can actually say in Atlanta, we got felt by that situation. This guy was locked up on 2 occasions, not knowing 3, 4, 5 occasions that he actually did something and never got arrested on it. So the thing with someone has a mental health, this should be something that the government should put into play. We should have some facilities to, kind of facilitate. We got all this money for the road work, for the FIFA thing in Atlanta, for the soccer. Let's put some of this money into these mental health facilities. I know about 1 or 2 in Georgia, but the same way we have these prisons, why we don't have these mental health facilities? Someone starts a program to where they can help people. Because honestly, like I said, some people might just need to be on medication, and some people are just too far gone. But yeah, the young lady, she was from LaGrange, the one that passed. And, they talked to the grandparents and they were shook up about it. And the Grange is, down by Greenville, Georgia, where my family's from. So, more hometown heartwarming goes out to her and her family. But making this thing a black and white issue, say the least, it's not. It's not a Pacific race that commits the crimes. Just one Pacific race. As a stand, we have everybody from Indian, Chinese, Mexican, Romanian, Russian. Anybody can commit a crime. Anybody. I can commit a crime with this pen right now. Nobody is, below committing a crime or above the law with thinking they're going to get away with it. And just with this situation, this guy had mental issues, and it's always this situation to a point where your family member gets in this situation. Now you're heartwarming, your cousin or your grandchild or something like that, because we do get old. And autism is running rampant, and all the people who are pushing this and pushing that. Prime example, what's the guy, Chub the Builder? Chub the Builder, he's a streamer that goes around calling, black people the N-word and telling them don't chimp out, calling them a chimp now, and he actually got his karma the other day, and I think he needs to go to jail because this guy was antagonizing people. There's one thing of freedom of speech. Real life, I'm in my car. But There's one thing of freedom of speech. There's another thing of saying racial slurs, racial, you know, things that you know can antagonize people and start conflict, and you're doing it. That's like me calling a white person or a Mexican out of their name, and then when they physically get aggressive, I have the right to defend myself, you know, but I'm antagonizing. I seen a video where the police told him he's antagonizing people. He needs to stop. He antagonized a guy, and he goes to go grab his gun and shoot himself. Now he's going to jail, and now I hope the police throw the book at him simply because he was antagonizing people. Now, if this was his first offense, not knowing the antagonizing that he's provoking and trying to get people to do that, I probably would have a little sympathy, like, oh man, that's messed up. But no, this guy's doing this on purpose. He's trying to get a reaction out of people. He's trying to do this whole freedom of speech. You can say what you want to say, but you got to remember there's consequences of saying what you want to say. You know, I seen this Chinese video, and I'm gonna get off of here. He say, you can eat what you want to eat, but you can't say what you want to say. And I'm done with that.